Hi, my name is Michael Bobrowicz and I live in Perth in Western Australia. I'm making this video on the 2nd of April 2020 in the context that all around the world people are dying from COVID-19 and many people have been or are in physical isolation, separation, either held at home or unable to go out very much at least. And there is a lot of distress around. I can't think of a better time where meditation could come to the fore. I'd like to lead people who might be interested in a short meditation which I value, which is called mindfulness of feelings. It's a meditation I practiced for a long time, and it's a practice which I also teach in the context of a city environment. The particular meditation that I'm going to show today comes from the Sakya tradition. It's got a heap of structure, and that makes it very suitable in some ways to learn and practice in a city environment. It's very, very suitable if you have a busy life, if you've got family, if you've got a job, children, those kinds of things. I remember a lady who did this class many years ago telling me that the only time she could find to do this meditation was at 4 a.m. in the morning when she was on her 4 a.m. feed with her baby and while the baby was settling after the feed. So she'd do this meditation with the baby sitting literally on her shoulder. This meditation involves involvement in feelings, and it's an interesting thing. If I say to people, if a child walked into the room and the child was in distress, a child was crying with emotional distress, and what would you do? And most people intuitively know what they do. They would reach out to the child, they'd hug that child, they'd comfort that child. But when you ask people whether they would automatically do that for themselves, or if they even have any capability of doing that for themselves, the answer is generally no. And meditation sometimes doesn't help because people get this impression about meditation that meditation is simply about sitting very still. It's looking very serene, and it's about mental involvement. Well, that's probably about 50%. At least the mental involvement part is maybe about 50% of what meditation is. The other 50% of meditation is very much about emotional connection. So I tell this little very bad joke in the spirit of all the other teachers that I've ever studied with, all of whom told very bad meditation jokes. In Australia we have a sign language called Aslan, and I'll show you one of the Aslan signs, and it's like this. And that's the Aslan for constipation. Interesting word, same sort of sound ending as meditation, and that's not what meditation is about. Meditation is more about this, and you might like to try this. If you put your right hand on your left shoulder and you put your left hand on your right shoulder and you give yourself a hug, that's the Aslan for love. And the meditation that I'm going to lead us through today is very much about that. So, normally speaking, a meditation on mindfulness of feeling would be preceded by a meditation on mindfulness of body, and I'll do that in a very short form today because I think let's just get down to the point, get to the meditation of mindfulness on feelings. So there's a very quick way to do a meditation on mindfulness of body, and it's necessary. And the way to do that is simply, no matter where you're sitting, whether you're sitting on cushions on the floor or a meditation stool, or whether you're sitting as I am on a chair or on a stool, you simply bring your attention to the body, and this is what's called a four-pointed meditation on the body. If you bring your attention first, the parts of the body which are touching the ground, touching the stool or the cushions. So in my case, that's my buttocks, backs of my thighs, and the soles of my feet. And it's just simply a connection with those parts of your body which are touching the ground, touching the seat, touching wherever you're sitting. And then you shift your attention to your hands up. If you put your hands quite deliberately into a posture of rest, one hand resting the other, thumbs lightly touching, that can be your barometer of tension. And you're bringing opposites together. It's a very deliberate motion as well. As you begin the meditation, you put your hands together. You've found the seat. Now you put your hands into a position of equilibrium. And you bring your attention up from the seat to the hands, so you've got the feeling of one hand resting in the other, and of both hands resting in your lap. And then you bring your attention to your spine. You elongate the spine, stretching the spine up, so the spine is a little bit more upright, but not rigid like a stick. So you feel the whole spine, feel it up from where it joins the hips up to where it joins into the skull. And you have a sense of the spine. And you bring your attention lastly to the head and the face. And relax the face, relax the eyes half open, just looking down at maybe a 45-degree angle. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Lips gently together. Relax all those muscles in the face, the big major muscles, the ones through here, little micro muscles might start to let go, and you just relax them. And then you just go down, up and down this sequence a few times, maybe 5 or 6 times. So you've got your attention on the head, face and shoulders, bring attention to your spine, to your hands, and to your seat, as quickly as that. Then you start again, you've got your attention on the seat, hands, spine, head and shoulders, spine, hands, seat, hands, spine, head and shoulders, spine, hands, and your seat. And you allow yourself, while you're doing that exercise, to kind of settle, bring yourself into a more alert but relaxed posture. So we start to look at this meditation on mindfulness of feelings. Now, a couple of things to say about that before we actually launch into it, which is that there are many ways for people to cultivate a sense of good feeling. And this meditation is very much about developing a sense of good feeling. And here's 4 methods that I know of, and there are others. And you have to pick out, before you start the meditation, one that you think might work for you. Now, in this meditation, we're going to breathe in a good feeling. So for some people, just simply knowing that there is a good breath is enough. They can just have that memory, that focus for a few moments, and they say, breath, this is the breath. It's good breath. They breathe it in, they permeate it through their body, and they watch the carbon monoxide leave back through their nostrils, and that's a reality. The breath of life. Without breath, we're not alive. We breathe in, we take in from the oxygen, transfers across the membranes in the lungs, and then we let go of the diatrius. For some people, that's simply enough. That brings about a conscious sense of good feeling. There are other ones. There are a couple that involve visualization. One is that one sees, that one imagines that one is sitting in a scene in nature, one you know, not an imaginary one, but one you actually know, that has brought you a sense of peace previously, a sense of well-being, And you imagine yourself sitting in that scene, and you breathe that scene in, you let that scene permeate your whole body, and then you let go. Another one is to think about a time when you knew you were loved, or where you really were aware of how much you loved somebody, and you bring to mind that sense of the love, the actual, that feeling time. You breathe in that sense of love and you permeate through your body and you let go. There's a fourth way, which is that you imagine tiny little smiling white bubbles in the air and all around you. Millions of these bubbles, little white bubbles with little smiling faces. And then when you breathe it in through the nostrils. They fill the whole head and they fill the whole body as they fill oxygenate every part of your body, and then these little blue-black, grumpy little bubbles come out back on the out-breath. So you have a choice about how you would do this. Now, in this meditation, we're only concerned about good feelings and bad feelings, and we're concerned with bringing a good feeling into the being. Very, very uncomplicated in one way. So let's just do the meditation. Now, what we're going to do is that I'll show you this meditation. I'll lead you through a little bit of this meditation. Then I'm going to have to let you do it on your own, because you will have to. This meditation uses breathing, your breathing, as the cadence, as its rhythm. And it's meant to be done fairly quickly. This is not meant to be a long meditation. This is meant to be a very, very concentrated piece of meditation, but it's not meant to go on for a long time. So this might take a total of 20 minutes, thereabouts. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, just simply find that elements of posture again, find that mindfulness of body. So find the grounded part of you, the seat. You bring your hands into posture, you find the hands, you find the spine, you find the head, the face and the shoulders, and you bring yourself, you stretch up a little bit, tuck the chin in maybe a little bit like that, eyes are just down, and you've got a sense of being present in your body. Now you shift your focus from the body to the breathing, and don't try and change the breathing, don't try and change it in any way, just watch the breathing in whatever pattern it might be in. But I want you to watch the breathing, and I want you to notice three parts to the breath. I want you to notice an in-breath, and at the top of the in-breath I want you to notice an abiding, and then I want you to watch an exhalation, which is kind of a down-going of the breath. So there's a beginning, which is the in-breath, there's an abiding, where you're at the top of the breath, and there's an exhalation where the breath is extinguishing itself. So in-breath, abiding, and exhalation. Just practice that on your own for a few minutes. Now, don't worry about how well you've got that. If you've got even just some sense of that, that will be enough. And for many people, the abiding, the top of the breath, is much harder to perceive than either the in-breath or the exhalation. It's very, very common at the beginning. And don't worry about it. Don't try and make the three equal at the beginning. It will eventually come. One of the things that will happen is that as you quieten down, and as you become more focused on in this meditation, that abiding phase, the top of the breath, will become more obvious to you. But so we're going to add a second part into that. So we get the breath going again, in-breath, abiding, and the exhalation. In-breath and abiding, and exhalation, in-breath, abiding, and the exhalation. Now we're going to add 3 colours in. So breathing in breath, and the white light, breathing in a white light, abiding, permeating a red light through your whole body, and exhaling blue-black, letting go. So in-breath, breathing in that white light into your body, permeating red on the abiding, and exhaling, letting go. Just practice now the 2 bits together. Now keep that going, and we're going to add a third element into this. So in breath, the white light, breathing in the good feeling. Remember the exercises, the choices that we had. So just breathing in a good feeling, breathing in that good feeling, permeating that good feeling, and letting go of any bad feeling, but just letting go. Don't focus on a whole list of bad feelings that you may or may have had in the last little while or in your whole life. Just focus on letting go. Make it physical. So in breath, the white light and the good feeling, abiding, permeating that good feeling through your entire body, exhaling, letting go. Just do that for a while. Okay, and just bring that to an end, and just wriggle your fingers and toes a little bit. What we'll do now is you've got all the elements bar one of this meditation. Now, how this meditation is constructed is that we're going to watch 6 breaths, one after the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll count at the beginning, and then eventually you're going to have to count on your own. Now, people have ways of counting. One of the ways is that we have your hands together like so. You touch your thumbs together for 1, index fingers 2, you just press them. Your middle fingers, you press them. Ring fingers, you just press them. Little fingers, you press them, that's 5, and then you press your thumbs together for the 6th again. But some people don't need to do that. Some people just count. That's what they do. So we put 6 breaths together, and then we completely give up the meditation. We dissolve the meditation, but we don't blow the meditation off. We don't get up and go out in the next room and have a cup of tea, either mentally or physically. We just stay there just for a little while. A little while, how long's a little while? Probably no more than a minute. And this part of the meditation is as important as the other parts of the meditation. So we have a very concentrated part of the meditation, and then we just sit and we watch whatever's present for about a minute. And if you try and push that out too long, lots and lots of thoughts will come, and you'll be you'll be back at the beginning of the meditation. So we don't sit for too long in this what is called unfabricated meditation, but we do sit there. If you need anything in the way of an anchor during that part, and some people do, you can just watch the breath, watch the body, but just very lightly. If you're watching a breath or you watch the body, just watch it very lightly, and mainly you should just be focused on what's happening. Was there any effect from what I just did? Maybe you can have that thought. Or maybe you just hang out there, just whatever. Okay, so we're going to put maybe 4 sequences of 6 breaths together. So we'll do 6 breaths, mini break, 6 breaths, mini break, 6 breaths, minute break, 6 breaths, and then I'll just ask you to sit there at the end, and anyway, without at the very end, and we'll just, there's a little thing that we should do as we come out of the meditation. So, again we find the 4 points of the posture. Groundedness, bring the hands together. Find that sense of equanimity at the hands. Elongate the spine. You're being a bit more mindful, putting a bit more alertness into the meditation. You're sitting up straight. You bring attention to the head, the face and the shoulders, and there's a relaxed watchfulness about the head, the face and the shoulders. You go back down the spine again, the spine and the hands and the base, and that's just a sense of being present in the body. Now, I will lead the first 6 breaths, which has the disadvantage that you're going to have to follow my breathing cadence, but at least it'll give you an idea of what the pattern is. And then after that, you're on your own for 3 sets of 6, but I will lead you into each one of those, and then I'll meet you, so to speak, at the end of those, and we'll all sit in the little piece of unfabricated meditation together. So back again, find the groundedness, find the equanimity at the hands, find the mindfulness at the spine, find the relaxed watchfulness ahead, the face, head and the face, spine, hands, seat. Bring attention to your breath. In-breath, abiding, exhalation, in-breath, abiding, exhalation. You do that for a bit. Bring in the white light, the red, the blue-black, white light, red, blue-black. Bring in the feelings, bring in the good feeling. Permeating the good feeling on the abiding, exhaling, letting go. 1. In breath, the white light and the good feeling, abiding, red, permeating the good feeling, and exhaling, blue-black, letting go. 2. Breathing in the good feeling, the white, and the abiding, permeating the good feeling, and exhaling, blue-black, letting go. 3. In breath, the white light and the good feeling, abiding, red, permeating the good feeling, and exhaling, blue-black, letting go. 4. In breath, the white light and the good feeling, abiding, red, permeating the good feeling, and exhaling, blue-black, letting go. 5. In breath, white light and the good feeling, abiding, red, permeating the good feeling, exhaling, blue-black, letting go. 6. And you dissolve all the concentration part of the meditation, but you just sit there. So we're going to do it again. Now this time you're going to do it on your own, to your own breathing cadence. So you find the in-breath, abiding, and exhalation at your cadence. Having found the in-breath and the abiding, you add in the white light and the red and the blue-black. You add in the three parts of feeling. Bring in the good feeling, permeating the good feeling, and exhaling, letting go, and you do 6 breaths. And when you come to the end of the 6 breaths, you just stay as present and as connected as you possibly can, but in a relaxed way without any of the form or structure of the meditation, the previous part of the meditation anyway. So we'll do it again. So you find the breath, you find the 3 parts of the breath, in breath, abiding, the exhalation. You add in the 3 colours. You add in the 3 parts of feeling, breathing in the good feeling, permeating the good feeling, exhaling the black, letting go, and you do 6 breaths on your own, in your cadence. You come to the end of the 6 breaths, you dissolve the structured part of the meditation, and you sit in the peacefulness, the quiet, present and connected, just for a very, very short period of time. Now we're going to do it one last time. There's a further instruction for this last time. Hopefully by now you're getting some semblance of being able to stay in contact with this meditation. So during the abiding phase of this meditation, see if you can permeate that red light right through every part of your body, right out to the tips of your fingers and right out to the toes on your feet. Imagine that red light permeating out to every cell in your body, right up into the top of your head and right out to the extremities of your body. So, in your own timing, 3 parts of the breath, 3 colours, 3 parts of the feeling, watch 6 breaths. And so you come to the end of the structured part of the meditation. Again, You just sit there a little while. Just look at where you're sitting now, internally. What does this look like internally from where you might have been in the beginning, before you began this meditation? Just ask yourself, and don't ask how much, but just ask, is there any sense of being present, being aware, being connected, calm, well-being? I just note those parts. Think just for a moment about the amount of distress that's happening around this world today. The people are dying, people are very ill, people who love those people are in states of distress, people are in loneliness. And just think, if there was any moment in this meditation, even one shred of well-being that permeated your being, you just wish that all those other people out there might have a moment like of that in their life, a moment of well-being. You wish it from the bottom of your heart. And you bring the meditation to an end, you wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, you've got a glass of water, have a drink of water. So just a few things maybe to say about this meditation. This is an important meditation. It's not complex, it's not difficult to do. But it goes a long way. If you practice this, I find it's interesting talking to people who are learning to meditate, and I say to people, look, if you're learning to meditate, or you would like to perhaps put together a daily practice, you have to be very methodical about how you do that, and it won't just happen of its own accord. So I say to people, let's say you liked this meditation, you thought, oh, this is interesting. I find there's two groups of people who pursue this meditation. One group find an immediate effect. They just immediately connect with it. They can a good sense of good feeling. And there's other people who actually notice the enormous obstacles to feeling anything, and to being able to put, never mind bringing good feeling, just to make contact at all with how they feel. And those are actually the two groups that tend to pursue this meditation. And it is difficult for a lot of people to make emotional connection. And so what I say is, if you become interested in this meditation, or in fact any other meditation, put a little bit of method into how you go about pursuing it. And one of the methods that I was taught was, well, say to yourself, look, I'll try this meditation for 10 days. I'll do this meditation come what may for 10 days in a row. I won't go over 10 days. 10 days I will stop. And just give that a try. And, no matter what you feel, or what distractions arise in your life, you sit for 10 days in a row. You sit at approximately the same time. Pick a time that's convenient and easy for you. Earlier in the day, the better. But that doesn't suit everybody. And just try 10 days. And no matter what happens, at the end of the 10 days, you stop. You don't just go on. Because if you do go on, your focus and your attention will eventually start to waver, and you'll lose the pattern. If you do 10 days and you think, oh, that was good, I'll like to do some more, set up another 10 days, do another 10. And again, review at the end of 10 days, work out what kind of benefit you got out of the meditation. Don't just go about it in a kind of haphazard way. Eventually you might extend that to 30 days. Try 30 days, maybe try 60 days. But build up slowly. Don't extend the meditation session, each session longer than a structure of, say, 4 sets of 6 breaths. We're after quality, not quantity. Don't extend those intermediary parts, which we call the unfabricated, more than about a minute at a time, no matter how tempting it is, because eventually you'll start thinking about the girlfriend or boyfriend or the mortgage or something. But if just for about a minute, most people can just sit there and enjoy the state and be aware of the good feeling which is arising for them. This meditation, it's an important meditation because it can actually lead you towards 2 concepts. And the first concept is that if you can actually change how you feel, so let's take an example. One way to check this meditation out and see whether it's actually working for you is to, the next time something minor happens in your life that's a little upsetting, you lose your car keys, I don't know what it would be, you miss the bus, you miss the train, you pick the example for yourself. You know, a little bit of irritation, anger, exasperation, whatever it is arises, just take yourself aside and try this meditation. Just breathe in, try 6 breaths, breathing in the good feeling, permeating the good feeling and letting go, and see if you can change the state that you're in. You bring it off the cushion into everyday life. If you can change how you feel, then you are not subject to the environment and people and circumstances around you. You have some agency in your life, and that is a huge thing to have, especially in the realm of feelings. And the second thing that might occur to you is that most people think that their feelings arise from the circumstances which are outside themselves. But that, if you begin to practice this meditation, is a very questionable idea. I'll simply leave you with that it's a question, a very big question. But I'll tell you in conclusion a story about a lady who was doing this meditation and came to class, and she was very willing to share this story, and I really appreciated what she had to say, her willingness to talk about something that happened to her. And she'd just got a puppy, a very small dog, and began to practice meditation, and she would put the puppy outside her bedroom door while she practiced the meditation. So the puppy was not all that happy with being put outside the door and started barking, just continuously barking. If she sat there for 20 minutes, this puppy barked for 20 minutes. Bark, 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 bark. So this lady was doing the meditation, so she's breathing in good feeling, permeating good feeling, bark, 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 bark in the background, letting go of the bad feeling, breathing in the good feeling, bark, bark, bark in the background, bark, bark, continuous barking in the background, permeating good feeling, letting go of the bad feeling. And she noticed this really interesting thing happen, which was having established herself in the meditation, and despite the fact that the dog was barking, bark, 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 in the background, she was breathing in, and she noticed when this interesting thing happened. She went breathing in, bark, bark, bloody dog, permeating the good feeling, bloody dog, let go of let go of the bad feeling, bloody dog, breathing in, and she realized that all this emotion, or this emotional response, was happening here. And she just sat there and she kept doing it. And she breathing in, noticed the feeling, she noticed the feeling that even though she was permeating good feeling, there was still this bloody dog comment going on. And then she kept at it, and about most of the way towards the end of the meditation, she just suddenly had this realization that outside of herself, all there was was the sound. The sound didn't have any emotional content at all. The sound was just the sound of the dog barking, and it was completely neutral. And everything that was going on here, a sense of anger and just unhappiness at this dog barking, was all here. It wasn't actually externally happening. So I wish you well. I hope you will get some benefit out of doing this meditation. And if you find that you do get benefit out of it, then teach somebody else how to do it. Okay.